All right. Take two.
Take two.
Don't know what just happened. Had to restart my phone. All right. So, as I was saying, so yeah, we just want to express some things that has been said that just wasn't right. So first, before we start that, I just want Dara to just kind of introduce herself and just give a little part of her story so that you can understand that she's not just here just saying anything, but she's true to this.
I'm in the light. Yeah. So yeah, like I want to say, my name's Dara, and I am 34 years old. It's my Olajuwon year. I've been married for 5 years. Me and my husband have been together for 10, more than 10. I think I was 23 when we got together, but I was turning 24 that year. So we've been together for 10 years, and we have not intentionally gotten pregnant, but we got pregnant shortly after we got married, and we had a miscarriage. And then a couple years later, when we were just living our life, being perfectly fine, we got pregnant again and had a miscarriage. And so after that, we started wondering, because even though we weren't intending to get pregnant, we started wondering, hey, this is a reoccurring theme, and we're a little concerned. And so went to go see my OBGYN and just really started working closely with my OB and fertility specialist, just trying to make sure that this is something that we can avoid. And so in the midst of that, you think it's like, oh, okay, well, we had a couple miscarriages, but we weren't planning. It's fine. I'm fine. But I think for us here lately, as we have been more intentional about wanting to expand our family, we start to get all of the PTSD, if you will, the fear of, well, we know that we can get pregnant, but we haven't been able to sustain a pregnancy or carry a baby full term. And so then you start to go, well, should we try, what should we do? How do you figure this out? And so I think that has kind of been the season that we're in currently, of just kind of trying to figure that out. And then with some own, I don't officially suffer from PCOS. If any of you out there in baby land know, if you're trying to have a baby and you are a woman who deals with weight issues, then you've probably heard your doctor talk about it. But I know that my ovulation goes up and down, so it's really hard for us to track when I'm ovulating, when I'm not ovulating. And if you're trying to have a baby, then ovulating is like, you gotta do that part. There's no baby without the ovulation. Yes. So all of that. So all of that is a part of our journey. And as we're rounding the corner and just really wanting to, in the process, honor God with our prayers, and believe the things he says about us and he says about our marriage. And so that is really kind of just where we are. That's the gist of us.
Okay, so guess we'll go ahead and jump right in. Did you want to start with anything? Or?
So I'll start, because I do, there are two parts of this that I kind of want to share, because the first thing I do want to say is that, I'll say that part later. Don't worry about that. I'll say that part at the end, but let's start with the things that family, hurtful things that people can say during the holidays. I think the number one thing,
wait. So we're going to start at family? Because, you got to kind of break this up.
Versus
family versus friends versus strangers and associates. Yeah, they gotta kind of be broken up.
Okay, so family, I'll say family, because it's about to be Thanksgiving, and we're about to visit family.
Yes.
So just when y'all gonna have some kids in that disgusted way, we're tired of just seeing y'all.
Yeah.
I'm good. You could not do that. That would be great if you didn't say, when y'all gonna have some kids.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That would be really nice if you didn't say that.
Exactly.
So that's my biggest number one. Or y'all need some kids, or as though David and I's family is incomplete.
Yes, without kids.
Without kids.
We ain't just good.
Right. It's David and I's presence is no longer good enough here. Good to know. Good to know that's where we are with that.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my first one. You
Okay, so let me go. One of my main things is that y'all next. They have a child and it's like, all right, y'all next. Be like, well, okay, you know.
Yes.
And then it'd be like, yeah, after you, y'all next.
Right. It's like, you know, you said that I swear to God, one time my sister-in-law, and I love her to death, she meant no harm.
Yeah.
But we was at Christmas and she was like, next year, y'all gonna have a kid. I give y'all next Christmas, y'all gonna have a baby.
Yeah.
I'm like,
how many
okay,
Christmases
sis.
did that ago?
That was like 3 Christmases ago. I'm like, okay, sis. Like, okay, you
Yeah.
know. Like, don't prophesy over
Yeah.
me. And, you know, we putting it out there for y'all, and it's like, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that one right there. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
y'all next. You can keep. I don't want to say it like that, but I'm good on that. I also don't like just the whole like it's not even actually something people say, but it's just the attitude as though like you're being selfish. Like just like, oh well, you know, y'all travel so much, I don't know how y'all gonna have kids. If you stop traveling, you might have a baby. Like,
wow.
I'm like, well, first off, we can have sex on vacation, and
Okay, yes.
ovulation doesn't stop, right?
Like it's gonna stop the baby from,
like, oh no, you're not in town in your own bed at your own house. There's no way we could do this.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how any of that works. But just
Right.
that whole ideal of like, because you're living life, like because you're not somewhere like in a closet breaking down that they see that you are like, you're enjoying life too much to have kids. And I like hate that, because David and I do love to travel, and people are like always making the assumption that we're putting off having a family because we want to travel and we want to go places and we are expanding our family. Because David and I are a family. I don't like when people say that, putting off having a family. We have a family.
Yeah, it's just their expansion, like you said.
But like, because we travel, we're putting off having a family. And I'm like, no, that's not it.
That's not what it is.
We will figure out.
It's like, so you rather me, because say for instance, because we don't know, no one truly knows, well, unless the Lord just really tell you, but when that child is going to come. So you mean to tell me you want me, if that child isn't destined to come until our 8th year of marriage, you want us to spend 8 years locked up at home, depressed and this and that, until we get the baby and then begin to do that? Right. Like, that's really kind of what you're telling me,
right?
You know,
right.
But yes, we gotta live. We gotta live,
and you do. You. I mean, you have to live. Like, and that's, you know, and that's not to say I'm like, just because you don't see me crying or I'm not sharing that with you. Yes. Like, you don't know how I looked before I got here. You know,
exactly.
Thank God I don't look like
you don't know the reason for this trip.
Right.
The reason probably is to get my mind off of that.
We could possibly be like trying to have they call them something now. A baby moon is when you're pregnant before you have the baby, but there's even like an ovulation, like a vacation when you're planning a vacation around an ovulating period. Because they say it helps you get pregnant. Yeah. For family, and I think I've seen family do this more than friends, even when family does know that you're struggling with fertility, the unwarranted armchair doctor advice. Like, well, you know, I heard if you such and such and such and such, then that'll work. And, you know, y'all should try. Have y'all tried the keto? You know, I heard that if, like, first off, I have great insurance.
You know what? That's a whole nother one. Because that's a whole nother thing on advice.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Unsolicited advice.
Yes.
Unsolicited advice.
We're going to say that one for the next one. You know, that's a whole thing in itself. Yes.
So, yeah, I think for family, like, if those are my biggest, like.
Okay. I would say another thing from family is, like, I think this can come from friends too, but mostly from family. You know, somebody, and I have some, I post in this group and I ask some things that they have heard, you know, things that are the worst things from family. And I've noticed that this has happened to them too. But even that, oh, well, you can just take my kids when they, you know, but they only It's like, you can just have my kids, but you're saying that because your kids are unruly and they're out of order.
Right. Why you think I want your
Why you think I want your children?
Your bad kids.
Yo, baby.
Right?
You know, like, no, and then it's like, that's not the same, because I have to bring your child back. And then, too, your child is not under my, like, they have your rules and your, you know, I have things I have to follow for you. You know, they're not cultivated from us.
Right.
So it's not the same. So to tell me, oh, you just take our kids. No, that's
right.
It's not the same.
And I think that, and then even though, and more power to anybody who wants to adopt, or you want to do donor eggs or anything like that, because that's all a part of the journey, and it's a possibility. And I think there are levels to fertility and coming to terms with things, like coming to terms with, we're not going to conceive naturally, so we need help. So that's one level. Yes. Then we're not even going to conceive that way, so we might need to do adoption, or we might need to do a surrogate. Yeah. That's a whole nother level. So what people don't understand is, when you say, like, you can have my kids, what I like, but for me, you think that I just want a baby in my arms. Like,
and it's not that.
And it's not that. Like, we're not talking about, like, here, just hold this baby and you'll be happy. You can keep that baby for a couple of days. That'll scratch the itch. And it's like, no, I literally look at my husband's face and I'm like, I want 23 of your genes to come together with 23 of mine, and I want to see our love personified in another human. Like, that's how much I love you. I want to see that. It's a different thing. It's not just, I want to hold a baby. Like, I love when people always say that, and I'm like, listen, I am 34 years old. Like, I know where to get a baby from, sis. Like,
there are many around.
Yeah, like, if that's what we're talking about, like, I know where to go pick up. I can volunteer at a hospital if this was just about touching a baby or something like that. But it's like,
it goes deeper than that.
It's so much deeper.
Yes.
It's something so intimate that it's like far beyond me babysitting your kids for the weekend. Like, taking your kids to Chuck E. Cheese. Like, this is not that. But thanks.
Like, it's not. No, that's not. It's not what I want.
Right. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we talking about. Two different things right about now.
Right. Exactly.
So this is some of the things while we're on the family, because you may be able to connect with some of these things. But one person said their grandpa told them that he didn't want anything to do with the test tube baby. He told his granddaughter that. So I'm guessing she was going through IVF or what's that, insemination or whatever. But because we're going a different route, like, I cannot go the route of just naturally having a baby. So, you know, to say something like that to your family, like, that's really messed up. So if any of you guys out there, like, please do not say anything like that to someone, or to say, well, is that real? You know, is it really having a baby? Yes.
Right.
It's just not the way that, you know, no one wants to go through a medical way. Like, I wouldn't have picked IVF.
Right.
You know, no one wants to pay and go through that to have a baby.
No.
So it's hard enough that we're already dealing with the fact that we have to go this route. Like, I have to spend money, and then I'm going to have to spend money to care for the child. Like, I got to spend money to get you here, and then I got to spend money to keep you.
It's like, most of y'all, I mean, how much is Netflix? Like $6.99? Most of y'all, it costs $6.99 to get pregnant.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? In a bag of hot fries.
Oh, for the ungodly ones. Because I'm going to take, shot of whiskey, shot of Patron, and they could go and,
you at the hotel, Holiday Inn. But, if somebody's like, I had to pay $10,000
to have this baby.
To have a baby. Right. Also, that's terrible. that's terrible. But I'll say this, and we can piggyback on it on the end, but to families dealing with fertility, I also think that during the holidays, you guard your heart, but also don't let anybody put anything on you. Yeah. And just because, like, if your grandpa's an idiot, that's not a notch to you. Your grandpa's an idiot.
Exactly.
And don't let that make you feel some type of way. You know, we've had those conversations about that in our family. Just the ideal of people are going to say things, sometimes out of willful ignorance, sometimes out of, you know, my aunts are just being really sweet, and they're trying to say in the best way that they think you'd be great parents, you know, like, but they don't really have the words. So just, you know, understand when people are trying to work with you and be like, I appreciate that. But also when people are being idiots, just going, you know what, I can't take that. Y'all just
like,
you just gotta be an idiot by yourself, Papa. I can't. I'm not
that was just out of line.
Okay, it's not even a test tube, baby. Okay, boomer.
Yes. And another thing is, you hear, oh, y'all are too young. Why are you trying to have a baby? You know, it's like, well, for one, what's supposed to be the age qualification?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously there's an obvious too young, but if we're grown and married, what do you deem the qualification then? You know?
You definitely don't get to decide on my timeline for family planning.
Yes.
I think being on the other end of 30, people are like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
And it's just like, first off, if we were waiting, like, because David and I have, at this point in the year 2019, chosen not to be pregnant, and have actively fought against pregnancy while we deal with emotional things and just timing for our family. So at this point, if I'm going to be a mother, then it'll be 35 and up. And it's like, you don't want to be on a cane. I'm like, first off, how old do y'all think 35 is?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so you don't get to decide anybody's family time.
Exactly.
That's not
exactly.
We're not on your timeline. Too young, too old. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If we ready, we ready.
So someone else, which I think is common, is just stop trying and it'll happen. And it's like,
that's not how any of this works.
Maybe that works for you.
Right.
Maybe you wasn't trying and it happened. But because there wasn't anything, you know, wrong per se, you were perfectly healthy or whatever. I don't know. But for me, if you're dealing with the PCOS, I don't know, is the endometrial stuff, is that the same as PCOS?
No, it's different.
Okay, I thought it was too different. Okay, so PCOS, endometrius, no tubes, black tubes, anything wrong with your reproductive system, you can't just not think about it. You literally have to try. You have to, if it's an ovulation problem, you have to either go to the doctor and get some meds to help you ovulate, or, you know, you have to time to, because there's some ovulation kits. Okay, am I ovulating this time? Because if not, then we know we're not going to get pregnant.
Right.
You know, and if you have blocked tubes, the baby can't get through if you have blocked tubes. You need your tubes for the baby to go from, you know, to the uterus. It's the bridge. So for me, I don't have that bridge anymore. Even when I did have the bridge was bad, which was the reason to my first 2 miscarriages. So it's like, to tell someone to stop trying, if you don't understand the situation, you really can't say that. You know, so that right there just is one of the common things too.
I think, and that goes back to just people genuinely not knowing what to say.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you stop trying, like, I'll say there are very few things that hurt. But I think for a lot of women who know that it's not just going to happen for them magically, that hurts. Yes. Because when you have to learn it to your mind of, all right, I know that I have 38 days in my cycle. I know that after the 11th day I have to, like, it's hard. People would love to just lay on their back and get pregnant. That would be great. Like fertile myrtles out there, you just touch them and he breathed on me. I'm pregnant again. Like, for those of us where that's not the case, like, it just, that one burns me when people are like, just stop trying. I'm like, sis, we got to be intentional about this. We on a mission. There is no just leave it to the, you know, I know it feels that way. You see so many people and that is their story, but there's such, when you say that, you're operating from such a level of privilege of not understanding that for a lot of women, that is not the case.
That's not the option.
That is not the
It's
option.
not the option.
It's just not.
Yeah, that one do kind of, like you said, especially when you're in that situation, it's like, I can't. Because if I don't think about it, then I could possibly not ever have a child. And then I listen to you, not think about it, and I never had a child. Right. You know, and it's like, no, I have to think about it.
Be intentional.
Yes.
Even if it's being intentional about your intimacy. Like, you have to be intentional. Like, that. This could be a whole nother thing. Listen, if you follow me on Facebook, I've been waiting. I need to get a bunch of married women together because I've been waiting to have a conversation about sex in marriage and how often it's happening. But I know in my home, full transparency, we go through ebbs and flows. Yeah. And depending on work, depending on this, depending on that. So if it's a week where I'm really tired just from being overwhelmed at work, but it's also my ovulation week, it's hard. Yeah. And you don't want to get in that place where you feel like I never want to be intimate with my husband and make it feel like, all right, I just need you to come. I need this to happen. I need you to, I said and it's like, I don't want it to turn into that. Yeah. So you're thinking about all of that. I think that if there was a word to describe women dealing with fertility, it's just you are constantly thinking. Yeah. You are having to think about things that most people who don't deal with those struggles think about. Mm-hmm. You want to be intimate with your husband and it's this and it's that. You get to do that. But you're constantly going, all right, we did. Is it gonna be this? Is it gonna be that?
Then you
how
waited.
Am I feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my
I feel
should
it's 2 days late. Yeah.
It's 2 days late.
But on that third day,
and then it showed, and that hurt. That's a whole other level of feeling defeated and having to jump back on that.
Yes.
Listen. Stop.
Stop. Just leave that be.
Leave it where it is. Leave it where it is.
Because then, another thing with that is we do have to fight, especially as the wife, like you have to fight that urge to not make the sex about trying to get pregnant. Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to make it just every time we coming together, then it's like, just to be pregnant, I need to make sure too that we are enjoying, right. So you gotta fight that urge to not to step into that lane. Right. So
there's pressure. Yeah. It's such a delicate balance. And it's a lot. Yes. So just not worrying and letting it happen, you can keep that.
Yes. Throw that away. Don't
keep it to yourself.
Don't put them words together in one sentence.
Let it happen. Shut up. Just
if you said that to someone,
never say
don't
it
say it again. Please. And even go apologize if you can, or if not, just don't say it again. Right. Don't say it to me.
I ain't no better. I'm sorry. I was watching a great Facebook Live, and now I've learned
that was insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So something else. One more thing. I've noticed people were saying that the parents would be like, "Oh, so when I'm gonna get my grandchild?"
Man.
So I don't know. I'm still wondering. I'm waiting too.
You pick a date. Then we both can be surprised. How about that? I'm gonna say that I am super fortunate in that. Well, sometimes I don't know if it's a gift and a curse. But I'm really thankful that my parents. I don't think my dad cares either way. That could just be a relationship issue with me and my daddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Tammy.
Sorry, my husband just walked in.
Hi, bud.
I think you've been
How are you?
I might as well.
Are you a slide in this thing?
What's up, man?
Hey, babe.
Oh, is this my water?
Yeah, that's yours.
Oh, you're so great.
You see the cup?
Come on, joy comes in the morning. Now I mess around, lost my train of thought. My parents, so I don't know if that's the thing with my dad, but for the first 4 years of my marriage, my mom could care less. She was really supportive and just like, y'all live y'all life, this, that, and the third. It's been really helpful that my mom recently has been very proactive about wanting me to have a baby. I think it's been encouraging. There's a little bit of pressure there, but I do appreciate that I feel like she's in it with me.
Yeah.
And so it's really nice to have that support. But you do feel that, like, but I look at my mom. My mom's going to have hip surgery in January, and I'm looking at my parents getting older, and I'm just like,
you want them to.
I want you to have a grandbaby like in there.
Yes.
So then there comes that level of pressure on
yes.
you. So much pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's already enough. We are, because I mean, obviously, we want to have kids, not just for ourselves, but so our parents can experience, you know, being their grandparents or our kid. Right. And for my point, because my mother, you know, she passed when I was 4, so as far as my grandmother, she's in my life. So I'm like, man, I want her to experience being that great grandmother to my children. She gets to experience that with my brother's children, but not with mine because I don't have any.
Right.
You know, and so it's like, yeah, we already we're on to that. We're trying to get you a grandchild.
I want you to have a grandchild.
I want you to have a grandchild from me too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that's something to just maybe not say.
But
Like,
and insert niece, nephew,
yes,
god baby.
We are having my niece, my nephew. Yeah.
I would really love if you were watching this and you were a family member. I would really love for you to switch that out with. Hey, I think you guys would be great parents. I'm praying for y'all. I just would really love, I think y'all would be so great with children. And I think for me, that lets me know, that conveys the same emotion you're trying to say with when you're going to have it. But there's a little bit of sensitivity to it. Because like I said, I think what you're really trying to convey is that you do want us to have kids.
Yeah. You want our kids to have play dates with
right,
your kids.
and you think we'd be good parents. I'm gonna, and I think that. So I think a better way to say that would just turn that around and say, hey, I think you guys would be great parents. I'm excited and praying for what God has in store for you.
Yes. Then even just checking in. Yeah. Just check in with your family member. If you know, okay, it's been a couple of years, they haven't had a child yet. I'll say past 2 years. If they haven't had a kid yet, just check in on it. Instead of saying, when you gonna have the kids, just check and say, hey, I'm just checking in on y'all to see how y'all doing. Yeah. I noticed you guys haven't had a child yet. Just wanted to see if you guys were just, intentionally waiting.
Right.
Or is there something going on?
Yeah. Or like, do y'all want kids? It's perfectly fine to say that. It's like, do you guys want kids? Or like, not in a weird way, like, well, do y'all want kids?
Yeah.
But like, hey, do you want children to be a part of your family? Do you want kids?
Yes.
Like, you can say that.
Yes.
But don't turn it into like, when y'all gonna do this?
Yeah, like, you disgusted. Wait a minute, just check in on it and be genuine about it.
Right.
That would help a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just checking on and see, okay, then you'll find out that if there is something wrong, then they'll open up, oh, this is what's going on, this is why we haven't had any child, or we're actively trying.
We're poor.
Then,
these are all things. We actually believe in family planning.
Yes.
These are all things.
Hey, then you'll know, and then you can approach the situation. But if you don't know the situation, just really don't speak on it.
So many other things we can talk about.
So many
other things. Yeah. So.
Yes. So, okay. So that's from family. Okay. Now, do you have anything from friends?
I will also say personally, I do feel like, shout out to all the homies, shout out to my friends, because my friends are really good to me.
Yes.
But I also work hard to be really transparent with my friends who are close to me, and they do know, the experiences. But I think for friends, some of those things can be the same, when y'all have some kids.
Yeah.
But I do think, you can have mine.
Yeah.
You hear that from friends a lot, It's like, or like friends who want to like jokingly discourage you, like, girl don't have no kids, all these kids do is eat and take my money.
Yes.
And all they do is cry, and I ain't had a decent night's sleep. It's like, sis,
just because you're having that problem with your kids.
Right, and also it's like, the same thing that you think gets on your nerve, like, I at this point would probably love to be up in the middle of the night.
Yes.
With a baby that me and my husband made. Like, just because you feel that way about it, like, that you're operating once again from that level of privilege.
Yeah.
For someone who fears that might never be a part of their future.
Yeah.
Like that can be so, like you saying that to me can be so scary. It's like, well, I might want to be up late. I want to experience it. You know, I want to be a parent, good, bad, not just the good days. When I'm saying I'm signing up to be a parent, I want to be a parent for all the days.
Yes.
And it's like, so don't, all of that trying to discourage me. Like, you don't worry about kids, man. Just travel and go to France. I wish I could do that. It's like, that one, you're so free. Yeah. I wish I could just get up and go when I wanted to. Like, it's like I'm captive to a whole bunch of other stuff.
And I think because you have your single friend, then you have your married friend who maybe their marriage, the way they are with their husband, you may can't get no freedom because your husband don't allow you that freedom, right. But it's like you're putting all that onto me as if this is going to be my experience. Right. I remember I had to have a talk with one of my friends. She was a single. Well, we used to be friends, but she's a single mother. And so she said that to me, like, about trying to have kids. Oh, you got to do this, you can't do. But I'm like, but you're coming from a single mother standpoint. Right. I'm going to be a married woman with a whole fully functioning partner. And I fully functioning. Not just he there, but he ain't. Right. He's fully functioning. Exactly. So it's like, you can't really, to say that to me, it's like, it's wrong, right. And even from the married couples who their spouse may not be that fully functioning spouse in that area, it's not going to be the same. Yeah. So it's like you're saying that because of how your experience is, right. So that one just.
Yeah, all the trying to discourage it, like, oh, you don't want this anyway. Like, it's easy for people eating pizza to tell somebody not eating pizza that you don't want this pizza. Yeah. Girl, this pizza, it's not even that good. Let me eat the pizza and find out. Yeah. Let me get my slice and I'll decide. Okay, sis? Don't try to discourage me. You clearly eating pizza. Okay? Hey, think about that.
Yes. So yeah, I would say that would probably be the only thing I've had from friends. I don't think anybody said anything as far as with friends on here, because I think they kind of run the same, like you said, between family and especially close friends.
They're pretty similar.
Yeah.
And I think, I think in general people kind of all fall in the category of not knowing what to say. Mm-hmm. When you want to say something, you don't know what to say. And we've all been in that situation before about many different things. And so I think that with your family and hopefully with your friends, if they're good friends to you, they're trying to convey a sentiment, like they're trying to convey empathy towards you and going, I'm in this with you or something like that. But a lot of times they just, because we don't talk about this. Like that's another thing that I do not, I like, but I don't like. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah. It's really hard for me when women find out that I've miscarried and then they tell me about it. They tell me about their experience and I'm like, hey sis, where was you when we was talking just about the birds and the bees? Like it's so normal. Mm-hmm. Like, and there are very few women that I've run into who do not have an experience with a miscarriage that I'm just like, can we all just start saying that? Like, please? Yes. Because we all are suffering in silence, feeling like we're like weird, you know what I'm saying, pariahs. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, women in my church have just been like, yeah, I had 3 miscarriages before I had my first one. Like, okay, sis, where you been at? Yeah. Like, I've been over here in tears, in shambles, and it's like, somebody say it out loud. Yeah. Please. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that one, you have to be careful how you share. I know that is like, I want you to know I identify with you, but it's like, when you see a young married woman, share that. Yes. Period. Like, hey, if you guys are trying to have kids, I don't know, but I just want you to know it was a journey for us. We experienced several miscarriages, but God is good and He gets the glory. Like, just let's get that out in the open a little bit more, please.
Yes, because it's like, it'd be, like you said, after the fact, or even after you didn't dealt with it or whatever, then it's like you hear that happened. It's like, well, here when I was crying, like you said, I was crying, I was heartbroken, and and then you knew, like, you didn't come, like, and say something to me about this and help me get through this. And I think part of that too is because for some people that went through that, some people are still dealing with that hurt.
Yeah. They didn't process it. And it's two things. If they had kids, then it's like they pushed it away.
Yeah.
And they like, oh yeah, I did have a miscarriage, but it's okay because I got this baby now, so it's fine. Or they never had kids and they can't process it because they are still in such a place of hurt. Yeah. And they feel alone and they are feeling isolated. So usually you're dealing with women who are on those two places. Yeah. And it's just like, even after whatever God has in the outcome, but if God says that David and I grow our family and we do have children, I will never forget the miscarriages that I had. That's just a part of our birthing journey. Yeah. Expanding our family began with 2 miscarriages. Yeah. Like, that's what it is. And and it's important to share that part. Yes. No matter what, not just skip 2. It's
all of that, yeah.
Right, I don't want to be 50 and it's like, oh, do you have any children? Like, if somebody genuinely asks, it's like, well, you know what? I had 2 miscarriages. And then we were fortunate enough to have a baby, or so on and so forth. But I want to always make sure I put that in there. And I want to empower women who struggle with fertility that is a part of your journey. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing. And we won't get rid of the stigma until we start saying that.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we gotta speak out about it. Yeah. And even for me, I know it took a minute, because it's just about that point of being vulnerable about what's going on. Yep. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's what comes out of it. To be able to hear from women like, man, thank you for sharing this. I've been going through this. It's like, that brings joy. Like, man, what happened to me, it wasn't in vain. Yeah. It was not in vain. Like, God still gets the glory.
Yeah. And there is such a feeling, and just when we think about shame, is not associated with God. It's associated with the enemy. Right. And I just love, before I was coming here today, I was in quiet time and I was just studying. I was intentionally looking up stories about women struggling with fertility in the Bible, and I love that it's all over the Bible. Yes. And majority of the stories are so redeeming and God honors it. Yeah. So that gave me reassurance and saying, one, this is nothing new. Right. Women have struggled with having children since the beginning of time. Yes. And 2, we are not forgotten by God, and God sees us. And so that was just so encouraging. And I think for me, I just want to always remember that. Like, I'm not forgotten, and I'm not, there's no need for me to be ashamed, because God is not ashamed of me. Right. He doesn't look at me and he's not like, oh, there's Dara, that's my broken one. Yeah.
Praise the Lord. Yes.
Not. He doesn't look at me like that. Yes. So I think those are the things I try. But even when you asked me to do this last week, I was talking to my mentor on Friday, and I was telling her to pray for me because we were going to do this, and you and I had that conversation. Yeah. And so I really look at, like, no, I don't think I've openly really said anything like this on Facebook. Like, my friends who are close to me know, but like that outer circle, your Facebook, hi, my Facebook friend, I don't know if they really know that. And that's not intentional, because I do want to live a transparent life. But it's just a weird conversation to bring up. Like, do you make a status about that? Like, hey guys, by the way, had a miscarriage, gonna go get ice cream later, I don't know. Like, it's like, how do you do that? And then you do know that you have people, because Facebook is such a, like, random, I went to high school with this kid. And, it's like, maybe it's not the place to share it. Or, you're kind of trying to figure that out. So I was really excited for this opportunity. But even in my own journey, still feeling like, man, okay, this is laying it bare. This is a level of transparency that I have yet to experience. But I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that God called me to it through you. So thanks.
Yes, I'm thankful that you accepted it. Hey, because one could put away what is it? One could put away 1,000, 2 could put away 10,000.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that scripture?
That's scripture.
Listen.
So,
Hey,
we
get in the
put-
word.
Get on 10,000 of them. So yes, man, because for so long I really been wanting to, especially do a live like this, like speaking out about just the things that are said, you know, because like I said in the beginning, we can't, I wouldn't be able to honestly put it or truthfully put it on everybody else, because I got a part in it too. Because if I don't verbalize that, hey, you know, that was a little wrong, you know, that was a little insensitive, or, you know, if I don't verbalize that to, especially like your family and friends, it's like I can't really fault them for it. You know, now obviously some of your family and friends, they I ain't even gonna say friends. If they your friends and they like that, they shouldn't be your friends.
Right.
But your family member can't throw them away. They just all who they are.
Just what you
but
got.
you know when some of them just straight ignorant. I ain't even gonna say ignorant. They straight ignorant. Okay, so just don't pay attention to what those are saying. Because you already know they ain't got it all together.
Right.
But, you know, for the ones who aren't like that, they could just be ignorant of the fact that this is not the proper thing to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Was there anything else as far as things that are said, or have you heard from any other women things that were said that was like, whoa, this was kind of bad?
I think that's really the gist of it. Those are really the main ones. I don't know. I'm trying to sit here and think about it. I'm just thinking about how, and I don't know, like, because some of this is like, it's not everybody else. It's just me.
Yeah.
That's not an everybody else thing. That's just a me thing.
Yeah.
In the sense that like for people that it's easy for them to get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is another one. So my really good friend, shout out Danielle. She's one of my best friends. I love her so much. She has had 2 babies here recently. And so I felt like she was reluctant to share that she was pregnant for a second time.
Okay.
Because she knew that we had recently had a miscarriage and that David and I were kind of trying to figure this whole journey out.
Yeah.
And I don't like, that's not it. Like, I can be happy for you.
Yeah.
While going, like, your journey and my journey are 2 different ones, and I don't want my friends to feel like they can't talk about babies around me.
Yeah.
Or like everybody like be like, oh, look at these baby pictures. And then when I come to be like, yes, it's not.
Yeah.
Friends will do that and they think that is helpful, but it's like, I want to be joyous for you. What God has for you, I'm excited for, and I want to share in that. And I want, and what God has for me is for me.
Yeah.
And me being upset about anybody else's fertility journey is not going to make mine better or worse or anything like that. So I don't want my friends to ever feel like that they cannot share their joys with me.
Yes.
And if they are pregnant, you don't have to hide it,
yes.
Or anything like that. Now, maybe, I don't want to sit on the phone with you for so many hours, and it's this and it's that. Yeah. That might be a bit intense, but I'll tell you. I'll be more than happy to say that's intense for me. But more than anything, but share your joy with me.
Yes. I
don't want you to think that we can't even say the word baby. We can't. Now, everybody, don't invite her to the baby shower. That's not this.
And I will say this, as far as for friends, because I've experienced this. There's some things you probably shouldn't even come to your friend about that's dealing with infertility. Like when I first this was the first time that we miscarried. And at this point, I think we had been married for 3 years now. Mm-hmm. So we had been trying, and then we kind of like stopped trying, but then it's like it found out we was pregnant. And so one of my friends at the time, the week that I lost the baby, it was that week after. The week after I lost the baby, she had already found out she was pregnant, and then she called me because she was contemplating on aborting, and she called me to tell me that, and she was expecting for me to advise her on that. And now in the moment, I put it away, and I did, I tried to advise as much as I could in the moment, because I was really just shocked, what I'm saying? But it was like, it totally rubbed me the wrong way, because it was like, I felt it was very insensitive. I mean, you got many other friends, it was very insensitive to come to me and tell me that.
Right.
At that time, it wasn't like, now if this was, if it went so fresh, then you can't, okay. But at that time, I was fresh off of losing the baby.
Yeah, that's hard.
So, like, just for anybody out there, like, listen, because I understand, you might contemplate some things, some stuff may be going on in your life, that's fine. But don't go to the one who just lost the baby. That's just the wrong thing to do. Go to somebody else.
that would have been hard.
Yes.
I would have been a little upset about that one.
I was very, but yeah, so that's just want to, don't go to them about that. If they fresh out of losing a baby, just pick somebody else to go and vent about that with, and everything will be okay. So I was trying to see, I'm not even sure how long we even been on here.
I got less than 9 minutes. We really got like 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. I think we really been on here for a good little minute.
Okay.
But
invite me back.
Yeah, so we're gonna do another one. The next time you come in, it'll be on the unsolicited advice. Some advice you can leave to yourself.
Yeah.
But it was something else you said you want to say towards the end.
Oh, well, I kind of wrote into it a little bit,
okay.
But I think more than anything, and I can't express this enough, I do want, like, this is a journey, and families, husbands, wives, everyone who struggles in a fertility journey, understand that it's not a reflection of you, of your character. God is not punishing you. This is not because of all the mistakes you made in the past. That mindset or that type of thinking doesn't help this process. And also, everybody is not out to get you. And so wanting people to show grace to you, definitely, but also return that grace to people, because I think that I have learned, like, usually our first response to those fertility jabs is a defense mechanism, and if we fight past it, we'll figure out what the real emotion we're feeling is. Like, my first response when people are like, when y'all gonna have some kids? I'm like, do y'all got some kids' money? And like, my first response is to joke about it. Is to make a joke. Oh my God, we're having too much fun. No, to try to not have to tap into what I'm really feeling when people say that.
Yeah, that's good.
But if I am willing to sit in it just a few more seconds, I probably can give people a more helpful response that will help them gauge. Because me always joking about it makes people feel like, oh, we're joking and I can say this and I can say that. And they never really get to the root of my feelings.
Right.
So if I'm willing to just kind of sit a little bit longer and give them a response from a true feeling that I'm feeling, then they can gauge, okay, I can see that's sensitive. Let me not say that. Or let me check on her more often because I can see, let me be praying about that.
Yeah.
So really show grace to people. And that usually your first response is a defense mechanism. So fight past that and really, as you're being transparent with yourself and as you're coming to terms with it, begin to let people in on this journey because you cannot do it alone.
Right.
And I think for me, this has got better because I can talk to my mom, because I can speak with my friends about it, because I am willing to talk about it, and more people are willing to say, hey, me too, or hey, even though not me, I feel you. And no matter what, God has the glory in the end of this. Whatever the end of your story is going to be, just know that God is using all of this to his glory. And being a mother is not who I am. It would just be what I do.
Right.
And I have to always remember who I am. I think my New Year's resolution and my theme for 2020 is going to be, I am believing what God said about me.
Amen.
And so that is what I want to, so take that away, be good to people. Y'all heard, you can just rewind this if you need to know what I said again. I'm not going to repeat any of that. But I think that's just, I think that's what I feel. And I think that's the heart behind this whole process.
Yes. And that was very good. Like, I haven't even thought about that. Like, just in that moment, pushing past the defense. Like, that's, oh man, that will help out a lot. Because then it brings the people in, and like I said, they can understand, okay, this is what's going on. Because again, part of it is because they don't know. They don't understand, because we get defensive.
Right.
We don't allow them that space, And the fact that someone asks, like you said, they're not all, everybody's not out to get us.
Right.
So the fact that they ask, it's like, give them a true response. Yeah. Give them a true response. So I like that, being transparent in every situation. And then you just never know that might be the person that's going to give you that $5,000 towards a $10,000 balance. You never know, because you don't know who you come across.
Exactly.
And they be like, oh, wow, that's going on. Okay, well, we want to sponsor you.
Right.
Bam, because you chose to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. I think about women in the Bible who had to be willing to be honest about that. Like, imagine, is it Samuel or Daniel? I think it's Samuel's mother who struggled.
Hannah. Yeah.
Yes. So just imagine if she'd have been like, I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if they wouldn't have been honest and open about it, nobody, you know what I'm saying? If you're not willing to say that, then nobody's going to be willing to reach out.
Yes.
Or nobody, you will go unheard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So be willing to be transparent and say, hey, I'm struggling. We trying to figure it out too, sis. Because I feel like at this point, there are several women who are walking with me in this process. And now I feel like not only am I going to be excited, they're going to be so excited.
It's going to be like a true joyous
we have prayed for this.
Yes.
We have all been waiting for this moment. And that
baby shop finna be lit.
Everybody giving you everything, baby. Give you your whole list filled. But I think that's the hope that you can hold on to. You know what I'm saying? I pray for the day that I hopefully can look at my child and be like, we wanted you. Yeah. Don't worry about nothing else. Just know your mama, that this was not no mistake. Yeah. This wasn't no Boone's Farm. Gone too far. Baby, we wanted you. Yes. So, so that, I think that.
Yes. So, and just for the people who have the couples around you, support them. Yes. Check in on them. If it's been more than 2 years and they haven't had a child, check in on them. See how they're doing. See, if they need their support. And just listen to them. Let them vent to you. Be in that space with them. Be in that moment with them. And don't come with your prejudgments, your assumptions. Just, hey, I want to hear from you what's going on. Yep. If you can't do that, just don't do nothing at all. The best thing, if you can't do that, just don't do nothing at all.
Talk about politics.
Exactly.
What's for dinner? Let's just talk about that. Exactly.
So thank you again so much for tuning in. I will post when but I thank you again. Share this with your family, with your friends that need to hear this. And enjoy your holidays.
Yay,
have a happy Thanksgiving. Listen, on the domino table, on the spade table, keep it cool. Don't throw the table over.
I'm knocking everything over if I don't win.
Make sure your food that you bring is good, okay? Then everybody looking at who brought this.
I'm going to a Friendsgiving right now. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you, and thank you so much for coming on.
Of course.
I'm so excited.
Anytime.
Can't wait to have you back.
Yay.
So you guys enjoy. Love you guys.
Bye.
Shalom be agape. Be multiplied.